See the amazing world's slowest Uber charge. Wow, incredible. Did you know that Medic has primary weapons other than the Crusader's crossbow? And melee weapons other than the Uber saw? Shocking, I know, but it's true. No, it's true. And they can all deal damage. Maybe not always a lot, but they could do it. It's like the Medic says, the healing's not as rewarding as the hurting. And we're gonna find out how much hurting Medic could do. Among other things, we'll have to wait and see. But you know what you can't see? Videos not available in your country. Are you tired of throwing your computer away and moving to Bolivia just to watch your favorite show? There's got to be a better way. Introducing the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN. With over 3,200 servers across 100 countries, allowing you to unblock content from other locations. Watch your favorite Bolivian show from not Bolivia. But that's not all. Surfshark's clean web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts. Which I could have used a few months ago when I downloaded a fake PDF that gave my computer malware. But now here's Surfshark to the rescue, guaranteeing that it will never happen again. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you can get an additional 3 months of Surfshark VPN for absolutely free with promo code AFTERBREAKFAST with a link in the description. So check it out. Alright, so the syringe gun has a base damage of 10 and just 120% ramp up, which is a lot less than the usual 150% ramp up that most weapons have. This means that the syringe gun's highest standard damage is only 12. But even though it does have reduced ramp up, that does still come into play. And that's because a critical syringe, which would ignore ramp up, would only deal 39 damage to a warrior spirit heavy. But if you swap that out for strength and mini crits, which do factor in ramp up, it will do an astonishing 42 damage against that heavy. 3 higher than a crit, so the ramp up does make some difference. And the Blutsauger's damage would be identical to Stock's, but the Overdose, with its 15% damage penalty, will only deal a max of 36. And all 3 of those weapons, the Syringe Gun, the Blutsauger, and the Overdose, will all deal a minimum damage of 0 against a Resistance power-up, Bullet Vaccinator shielded, Battalion's Backup boosted heavy with the Fist of Steel active. But the Crusader's crossbow deals damage in a very unique way. Unlike normal weapons, it doesn't really have a set base damage that's affected by ramp up and fall off. Instead, it's just the actual base damage that scales from 38 at point blank to 75 at long range. And what's considered long range for the crossbow is way further away than it would be for most weapons. It's all the way back here where the crossbow reaches its max damage of 75. One step closer and it goes down to 74, so that's pretty far. But you multiply that 75 by 3 for a crit, and 1.3 for the warrior spirit, and the crossbow deals a max of 293. And the minimum damage for the crossbow would be just 2 at point blank. But the most it could heal is up to 150 at long range, which will give up to 9% charge if that target hasn't taken damage in the last 15 seconds. And the minimum it could heal is just 7 at point blank against a friendly soldier using the escape plan or the equalizer, which will reduce healing from the medic by 90%. And that'll give 0% charge. And then medic's melees are pretty standard, all but one of them had the exact same damage. With a crit against the Fist of Steel Heavy, the Bone Saw, the Uber Saw, the Vita Saw, and the Solemn Vow will all deal 390 damage. And all 4 of them also have a minimum of 17. But the Amputator does 20% less damage, giving it a maximum of 312 and a minimum of 14. But did you know you could get up to 92% Uber from one single Amputator taunt? If you happen to be in a 32-person server, and all 15 of your teammates are heavies within healing range, and all have 1 health, and also haven't taken damage in the last 15 seconds, you can heal 4,485 damage in 1 taunt to gain 92% charge. But the minimum charge is 0, because if everyone is at full health, you don't actually do any healing, so you don't get any charge. Which is a little bit lame. But speaking of lame, even Medic's Taunt Kill is a little bit unimpressive damage-wise. For some reason, the Uber Saw's Taunt Kill is considered bullet damage, which would mean it would deal a minimum of 24, and its maximum would be 4 with the first hit and 1,755 with the actual kill. Which is on par with something like the Sandman Taunt Kill, but at this point it's kind of underwhelming. But I guess that's it. It's not like Medi Guns can deal any damage. Or can they? No, they can't. Don't be ridiculous. Of course they can't. Or can they? Okay, one can. Kinda. Sorta. By technicality. So due to a bug, if at any point you heal a Thermal Thruster Pyro who performs a jetpack jump, the Thruster Stomp mechanic will also apply to the medic. But that effect actually never goes away even if you stop healing them. You heal a jetpacking Pyro one time, and until you die, you can stomp on people as medic. And if you combine that with the Reflect power-up, which increases Medic's health to 400, it will also increase the amount of fall damage you could take, meaning that Medic can deal up to 923 damage with the Quick Fix. Kinda. The kill icon is the Mantreads, but it's the Quick Fix that lets you do it, so that kinda counts, and I think that's kinda neat. And yeah, that's every way Medic can deal damage. So there's the video. Okay, bye! Nah, we'll get to the Medi Guns. I mean, since I started this series, people have been asking me if I was going to include healing in the Medic episode, and of course I am. So, let's take a look at the healing and the Uber rates. And unfortunately, the fastest healing rate is a little bit uninteresting. There are no other weapons or items that affect it beyond the Medi Gun itself. Basically, the fastest healing you're going to get out of the Medi Gun, at least when it comes to a PvP match, is with what's sometimes called in the community as crit heals. And that's when, if your heal target hasn't taken damage within the last 15 seconds, your heal rate on that target will be increased by 3 times. And for the Medi Gun, Crit Streak, and the Vaccinator, this means going from a base healing of 24 health per second to 72. Though the exact heal rates can get a little bit wonky. The wiki claims the Medi Gun has a base healing of 24 health per second, but sometimes you could see it as 25, and I'm not sure why. But of course, in Man vs. Machine, those healing numbers can be doubled with upgrades, getting the Medi Gun to a max of 146 per second, which is actually a little bit more than double of 72, so again, I'm not really sure why there's inconsistencies there, but it's close enough. But as expected, the Quick Fix does heal the fastest, with its normal crit healing being 102 per second and the Uber tripling that. And in Man vs. Machine, with the healing upgrades, the Quick Fix's healing rate can be up to 205 per second. And when it comes to Uber rates, the fastest standard Uber charge rate for each Medi Gun relies on the heal target having less than 142.5% overheal. Once that heal target reaches full or close to full overheal, the Medi Gun's Uber rate will be cut in half. Luckily, the Fists of Steel prevent reaching that max overheal, so a medic healing a Fist of Steel Heavy will always have the max Uber rate. And if it sounds busted that a Fist of Steel Heavy can actually help medics gain Uber charge faster while also having 40% resistance to ranged sources, that's because it is. But anyway, the fastest standard Uber time for the Medi Gun is 40 seconds, for the Quick Fix it's 37, for the Crit Streak it's 32 seconds, and for the Vaccinator it has a 67% faster charge rate, but that 1.67 times faster rate is cut by 33% if the target is overhealed at all, meaning it only charges 12% faster if the target is overhealed. But if you somehow manage to only heal hurt players, the Vaccinator can actually gain all 4 Ubers in just 24 seconds. And in Man vs. Machine, with 4 plus 25% Uber upgrades, the Medi Gun can get Uber in a minimum of 20 seconds. The Quick Fix is also 20 seconds, and the Crit Streak, which is only capable of getting 3 Uber rate upgrades, is also 20 seconds. Going into this, I actually didn't know that was how it worked. I thought it would be 1.25 times 1.75. But no, it actually just adds on to the existing Uber rate bonus. You can even see it in the little stat thing on the side. And it seemingly maxes out at 100% faster, which is the same thing with the Quick Fix. But the Vaccinator only has 1 Uber rate upgrade option. And that actually makes it so it has the slowest Uber in Man vs. Machine, taking 20.79 seconds to get full Uber at 92% faster. It's less than 1 second difference, but it's there. But when we get to the slowest healing and the slowest Uber, now this is where things get fun. I mean, right off the bat, the Equalizer and the Escape Plan already reduce healing by 90%, with the base heal rate being cut down to just 3 from 24. And Afterburn from a Flamethrower will also reduce Medi Gun healing by 50%. And for demonstration purposes, instead of having a pyro constantly burning the soldier, I've just used condition 118 to apply the effect without needing the pyro. It just makes things easier, but imagine he's on fire. But it doesn't stop there, because in Manpower, if either the medic or the heal target has a power-up, then your heal rate is reduced by 25%. But if you both have a power-up, it's reduced by 75%. Except for with the haste power-up, which cancels out those effects. But this means, if you have a power-up and start healing a soldier with the Equalizer active, who is also set on fire by a flamethrower, and is also carrying a power-up, you will heal nothing at all. Yeah, it's just 0. It doesn't matter how long you wait, your heal rate is nothing. And this includes all Medi Guns, including the Quick Fix, which heals 40% faster. And even the Quick Fix's Uber, which is a 3 times heal rate off of that 40% faster healing, is still 0. I guess 3 times 0 is still 0, so it makes sense, but still. I mean, just look at how unhelpful this medic is being. He's not healing his teammate at all. And for the slowest Uber rates, now we're really talking. So power-ups have a similar effect on your Uber charge rate that they do on your healing. If one of you has a power-up, it's reduced by 25%, and if you both do, it's reduced by 75%. But you know what also halves your charge rate? If your heal target is at full overheal. And normally you can't be overhealed if you have a power-up, but if you collect that power-up while you're already overhealed, then the penalty won't apply. So this way, it can be halved twice. But you know what also halves your Uber rate? if the heal target is currently being healed by another source, including Medi Guns, dispensers, and payload carts. And apparently this effect on Ubercharge is divided by the number of things healing the target. So like if 4 medics were healing an overhealed player, it'd basically be 80 seconds times 4, which is equal to 320 seconds, and not 80 seconds times 2 to the power of 4, which would be 1,280 seconds. I think that's how it works. But see, there would be a pretty big difference there. But you know what we gotta do now. We gotta have 15 medics healing a fully overhealed player who is carrying a power-up, while we also have a power-up, and we gotta see how long that takes. And in this instance, it will take you 48 seconds to gain 1% Ubercharge. And I recorded the whole thing. And in the hour and 20 minutes it took to gain Uber, that's right, I said an hour and 20 minutes, I thought to myself, how could I waste more of my time? And the answer that I somehow didn't realize beforehand is that the player that I was healing should have been an engineer with a dispenser. And I was very disappointed in myself for not realizing that. But before I went to set up all 15 medics again, but this time with an engineer, I wanted to make absolutely sure that this would be the slowest way to get Ubercharge. And I'm thinking we can't have a payload cart because then we couldn't have power-ups, and it's not like you could be healed by both teams at once, so... Except, yeah, you can be healed by both teams at once. Yeah, a disguised spy could hypothetically be healed by 31 medics at the same time. And look at that, it's beautiful in a way. Look at them all working together. And I like the way the red and the blue come together to make that purple glow around the spy. But a few of those medics didn't want to be team players, and it was hard enough to cram 30 medics down there, so I just swapped in 3 dispensers as a substitute. And in this scenario, where 31 medics are healing an overhealed disguised spy who is carrying a power-up, while you also carry a power-up, it will take you 92.79 seconds to gain just 1% Ubercharge. That means to get full charge, it will take 9,279 seconds, or 154.65 minutes, or 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 39 seconds. And if you think I'm going to record all 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 39 seconds, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I don't think I want to watch a feature-length film about building 1 Ubercharge. I think I'm going to pass. And in case you couldn't guess, that was probably the longest it took to make one of these videos. But it was also one of the most fun to make, because I genuinely had no idea what to expect when it came to the slowest healing or the slowest Uber. And I think those parts came out to be really entertaining. I was not expecting 2.5 hours to gain an Uber. But yeah, up next I guess we either have a sniper or a spy, and maybe Saxton Hale. We'll see. So those will come out eventually. But thanks for watching, and a special thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. And also a special thanks to my patrons, like Varric, Captain Forex, Eggox, Colonel, Probably Vinegar, Caponicus, Kelso the Pirate, Pillsman's Fox, Some Crazy Idiot, Scout with a Name, Glump, Salt God, Lavi, Taupe, Time Consuming, Man344, Nolan46, and Melodici. Alright, peace out, dogs.